Dogs taking care of business for a while. If you're listening to another station, I don't understand. But nobody does it like Tom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Tide and Tiger Land. Nobody does it like Tom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Hump Day in the Doghouse, or as some are calling it, Sad Wednesday, because today is the day that the bottom four teams in the SEC start SEC tournament play, and we'll have both those games for you tonight. Ole Miss and South Carolina, LSU and Georgia. Tomorrow, Mississippi State-Florida game is at noon, knocking us off the air, and the winner of that game will play the Tide at noon on Friday, which means today is our last show of the week from here in sunny Florida. And yes, I am still poolside at my daughter's as we broadcast to you here, and we will be back. We don't know if we're going to make it back for Monday. We might be Tuesday before we're able to get back on the air with you, so stay tuned for all of that. But we're definitely out of the box the next couple of days, as you will have SEC basketball, and all SEC basketball games will be heard here, including number 5 seed Tennessee against that winner of the Ole Miss South Carolina game tomorrow afternoon is when we'll have that one. That'll be game 2 tomorrow afternoon. And the 7 seed Auburn and Arkansas go tomorrow night. This would be a great night. Tomorrow night. This would be a great day for you to get in and let us know how you think that the SEC tournament will go and who will meet in the final and where are the upsets coming from. I mean, for me, Arkansas is scary, all right? They just feel like they're a hard out. Now, the Tide are favored as the number 1 seed. I do think that the top bracket is much easier than the bottom bracket, although that rematch with Tennessee and the Vols' ridiculous defense looms for the Tide if they both win on Friday. That means on Saturday it'll be Alabama and Tennessee. Now, it's also Saturday is the first round of the Division II tournament, which means you're going to have our app, or you're going to be able to listen online to all of our alternate channels as well, to where you can get the UAH first round game in the D2 tournament on Zone 2, all right? But right now, if you go and you look at our calendar, it's out of control. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy, the stuff that we have going on. I mean, we have, obviously, SEC tournament play, and that'll be first and foremost. We have got UAH basketball in the D2 tournament. We have got UAH baseball and UAH softball coming up this weekend as well. All right, so all of these things, Huntsville Havoc hockey. I mean, I don't even know if we got hockey. I haven't looked at the calendar in a day or two. All I know is I saw it and I laughed. And we had there was 1 million boxes. There's just 1 million boxes Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, we got everything. Everything. We got everything that you can possibly want. We have. All right. So it's absolutely incredible, the amount of stuff that we have for you. And it's all right there on the calendar, which you can find at 977ESPN.com. All right. As I said, the Tide are favored as the 1 seed in this thing. Kentucky is a favorite, as a factor as well. If not a favorite, they are a factor. They're Kentucky, because they've looked more like Kentucky as of late. And you know that blue mist will be in full force, as always, in Nashville. And speaking of Nashville, Vandy is ostensibly the home team up there, and they heated up down the stretch after being blown out by Alabama. You remember when they were blown out by Alabama? And I said I thought Jerry Stackhouse was on his way out. I thought the next thing that would have to happen is Jerry Stackhouse was going to get blown out. I didn't think they'd give him a ride back to Nashville. All right? And then he ends up co-coach of the year after going 8-1 after getting destroyed by Alabama. And he had wins against Tennessee and Kentucky and Auburn. Now, can they beat Kentucky again on Thursday night? I don't know. All right? I don't know. Here's a bigger question. When they play Kentucky at the Bridgestone Arena, is there more Kentucky fans there or are there more Vandy fans there? probably more Kentucky fans, even though it's in Nashville. Probably more Kentucky fans. All right, we got much more in the tournament today. I'd love to hear your opinion on it, but we are going to get some country hardball in here as well. We've got a little Carey's Corner coming up at the bottom of the hour with Josh Carey, and then Trash Pandas manager Andy Schatzley is coming up, joining us from Angels Camp in Arizona at the top of the one. Now, the rest of the time, we welcome your phone calls, 256-576-4977. Text window is open, 732-9TA show. My Twitter feed is at Tom Abraham Show. The station's feed is at 97.7 ESPN. You can watch the show there as well as on our Facebook page at 97.7 ESPN. The show is streaming live on WZZN TV, on Twitch and YouTube as well. All right? You need to get the apps. All right, it's all archived. It's all archived video, audio, everything. All right, so get to 977ESPN.com. Get links to all of that stuff, podcast versions of the show, all of it, and get those apps so that you can listen to Zone 2 and Zone 3 and Zone 4 as well. Like I said, just go to 977ESPN.com. Take a look at our broadcast calendar. Out of control. Absolutely out of control. All right, let me slip this in, by the way. As critical as I have been of the Tide coaches and administrators on the handling of the Miles case as it relates to Brandon Miller. Remember, I was critical of Brandon Miller's decision-making, but I am totally down with the fact that he has not broken a law and that he is not being charged with anything. The decision-making is questionable, but that's a 19-year-old kid. I have been critical of the way it was handled from administration and the way it was handled by the coaching staff from a PR standpoint, all right, from the standpoint of optics, all right, including the pat down and all of that kind of stuff, all right, from those standpoints. But let me just say this. What the Wooden Award people did earlier this week, leaving Brandon Miller completely off the list of 15 finalists, was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Poor judgment off the court, sure. While not committing a crime, does not disqualify him from being one of the best players in the country. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You just cheapened your award. I don't know that he was going to win it. I'm not sure that he was going to win it. But don't tell us that Brandon Miller's not one of the best 15 players in the country. He's the SEC Player of the Year as a freshman. Okay? Just stop that. You just cheapened your award by doing that. So I wanted to get that in there. There's been a lot going on this week. I didn't mention it earlier in the week. I just want to say that. Now, over there in that little glass room, playing the Platters That Matter and the Stacks of Wax and answering the phones and keeping us on the air and wearing his glasses today in an effort to look more like the big dog if he possibly can. It's the, and now they're off. It's the one and only DJ Grizzy Grizz.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? Detective. It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a one-hour television spectacular.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Now, Tom. Hey, Tom.
He may be the smartest person that I've ever met.
Testosterone high today.
What's that?
Testosterone, whatever the it is. Testosterone.
I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
It really doesn't matter what you think. All right? It really doesn't matter what you say.
Hey, Grizz, how you doing? What's with the glasses?
Hey.
The contacts not working today? What's up with that?
I never had contacts. I'm actually supposed to be wearing glasses. I'm supposed to be wearing glasses since I was a child. Just choose not to.
Maybe that answers a lot of questions.
I can see I can see just fine. It's mostly for reading. That was what it was for. Like that's why I needed glasses, was just for reading and just really just being able to, just kind of like comprehend a little bit. I think there was something beyond glasses that I probably needed. But no, I didn't know that I would match also with a black shirt, All I have to do is part my hair one way if you're watching on stream, and then boom, I think I am the big dog right now. I just need a little bit of a haircut, and then I might be right there.
Yeah, you need to gray your hair. You need to put some powder
on
your hair.
I've got the peppercorn. I got the peppercorn in there.
You got to, and then you got to get a razor, and you got to kind of cut a skin yarmulke in the back. Okay, you got to have the skin yarmulke going in the back.
According to my sister and my little brother, I'm almost there. So I mean, I've got a little one going, I think. I can't tell.
So your shirt says, those of you that are watching WZZN TV can see Chad. Your shirt is a World Series shirt from 2 years ago.
Yes.
From the Braves winning the World Series.
Yes,
mine's a Phoenix Boats shirt. Mine is just a Phoenix Boats shirt. It's got a big Phoenix logo on the back. And I think, when you get into the warm weather, I'll be honest with you, I have to figure out. It's hard for me not to wear a Phoenix Boats T-shirt. Because I have so many of them. They send us these, you know what I mean? And they're really nice T-shirts. It's a nice, heavy T-shirt that Phoenix sends the Phoenix team and the guys that are on their staff and all that kind of stuff. So I have literally, I bet I've got 6 black ones, 3 red ones, 3 gray ones, all right, that are Phoenix Boats. So what am I going to do? I got a dozen Phoenix Boats T-shirts. I would have to sort through my closet to find something that's not a Phoenix Boat T-shirt to wear in T-shirt season.
The problem, during T-shirt season for me, because I'm a Falcons fan, a Braves fan, everything like that, everything is either red or black. I mean, every shirt that I own is either red or black, and even sweatshirts, they're either black or red, and I'm just it's there's no in between. I don't have much of anything other than maybe occasional blue, navy blue, but I mean, that's my whole attire, especially during this season, and it's just there's some shirts that I want to make last even longer. I don't want to wear them out because they're nice, and they're, it's you got to cherish that moment,
How crazy is this calendar right now? I mean, our calendar.
We've got 15 games on Friday. We've got 10 games on Saturday. Yeah, you still have. You're talking about the Havoc. You still have the Havoc on Zone 4. We'll still have all the UH games, softball and baseball over the weekend as well. So, yeah.
I mean, it's
plus the SEC tournament.
The SEC tournament. I'm looking at Friday right now. This is hilarious. So Friday. We've got the Alabama game at noon, right? Pregame starts at 11 for that. After that, we have another game number, whatever it is, game 8, I guess, of the SEC tournament. We got UAH baseball versus West Florida on Zone 2. We have more SEC basketball, the Texas A&M game against TBA. We have got the Huntsville Havoc against Roanoke on Zone 4. We got another. We got the Kentucky basketball game on. Wait a minute. Are we sure that's Kentucky on Friday? Kentucky a double. Kentucky a double bye. I said about them beating Kentucky on Thursday. So Vanderbilt's not playing Kentucky. Why did I think that? I don't know. I'm confused. I thought that for some reason I thought that Kentucky wasn't playing. Let's see, Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky's got the bye. Vandy has to beat the Georgia LSU winner, which they will. They will. So I think that Kentucky and Vandy are going to play in this thing. Who do you think's the final?
In the final. That's tough. That's really tough. Man. Auburn and Kentucky.
I think your Final Four.
I'm sorry, Tennessee and Kentucky.
Oh, Tennessee and Kentucky?
Yeah.
So you got you think Tennessee beats Alabama on Saturday?
Yeah. I think, and that's the best thing for them too. I've been listening to too much of our local programming and just stuff like that. I think that's the best thing possible for them, and then they can go into the NCAA tournament and be motivated.
One day extra West.
They're that weird team that comes off a loss and then goes on a run. Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to go on a run right before the tournament?
Well, I think this would be a run. I think cutting down the nets would be a good thing. Yeah. I think it's Alabama.
I don't know if they're going to win games.
I think it's Alabama and Kentucky in the final. I think your SEC. I think Saturday it'll be Alabama, Tennessee in the upper bracket.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Kentucky and Arkansas in the lower bracket.
Yeah.
I think Arkansas is going to knock off Texas A&M. I think they could. Texas A&M is unbelievable at home, but last I saw, this tournament's not being played at College Station. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like I'm going to go Alabama, Kentucky. I'm going to go Alabama. You know my rooting interest. I mean, it's ridiculous for me to just go and say, well, yeah, Alabama's going to win the tournament. But I think losing that last game at Texas A&M is great motivation for them. And I think doing the double-double for the second time in 3 years, I think that's a thing, man.
When you're thinking about them in the NCAA bracket, how far are you thinking about taking them?
In the NCAAs?
Yeah.
The bigger question is, how far does it have to be for it not to be a disappointment?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's ask it that way.
That's another question. Yeah.
So how far does Alabama have to go? Like if Alabama, obviously, if they go out in the first round, or if they don't make the Sweet 16, that is a disappointing season. At the end, that's a disappointing. You say, well, wait a minute. If you're a Sweet 16 team, that's a great season. Not when you were number one during the year. No, that's not a great season when you were number one during the year. Yes, overall it's a great season. So if they make the Elite Eight, if they go out in the Elite Eight, I think that's the threshold. I think they have to make it to the Elite Eight. I think that getting past the Sweet 16 and making it to the Elite Eight. Look, if you're a number one seed, you can't be going out in the Sweet 16. If you're one of the 4 1 seeds, should you I'm not saying you have to make the Final Four, but I think you have to at least make the Elite Eight. If you go out in the Elite Eight, then I'm willing to say, okay, that was a great season. Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, because it's like if you're the best team or the most talented team like we've ever seen at Alabama, for Alabama basketball, then I would say your best. I mean, your worst finish would be Elite Eight, but your best finish would have to be obviously win it, but at least make the Final Four. At least make the Final Four. And
well,
then it's not
they're going to be. Let's say they're a number one. They're going to be a number one seed, right?
Yeah.
So let's say unless they, the only way they could fall off the one line is if they lose on Friday in the first game. I think that could be a little dicey. But let's say they win Friday, they get to Saturday, they get to the weekend anyway, and they're a 1 seed. If you are a 1 seed, any 1 seed, if you are a 1 seed in the madness, is anything less than making the Final Four a disappointing season? Because it's not like all the 1 seeds make the Final Four.
Yeah.
You might get 2. Every once in a while you get 3. Sometimes you get 1. Okay? If you're a 1 seed, is the tournament a disappointment if you don't win your region? Okay? If you're a 1 seed, is it a disappointment if you don't win your region? I think if you lose in your regional final, you can still be proud of that, even as a 1 seed. That's what I think. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back. Phone lines are open. We go with our open line segment next. Jason is up and ready to go, and we'll get to him and more of your calls next right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Wednesday, expect scattered showers, mainly in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see a mostly cloudy sky. High temperatures are expected to top out in the low 60s for the afternoon. Heading into your Wednesday night, a few isolated showers going to be possible after midnight. Otherwise, expect a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures falling into the mid and upper 40s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's an amazing time in our industry. Things are changing so rapidly. With digital signatures and workflow software, we help our customers work from anywhere. This helps you save time and money and upgrade your technology. Like I said, it's an amazing time to watch our customers grow and succeed.
Just ask anyone. The Liosi Group.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
The calendar does read March, and that means it's time for you to enjoy some Talon Heating and Air St. Patty's Day specials. And if the utility companies have been taking all the green out of your wallet, Talon Heating and Air, Thomas, has the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow to help you put it back in.
That's right. We have a special right now for all the listeners of this commercial. Get $1,000 off, in addition to excellent savings with the Bosch equipment.
It's Talon Heating and Air St. Patty's Day special, and tell them how they can ring you guys up.
That's right. They can give us a call at 256-503-4490 or at talenthvac.com.
Talon Heating and Air will have you seeing more green this March. And if you're feeling really lucky this March, make sure you join our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Bracket Challenge presented by Talon Heating and Air. Maybe they'll have you seeing more green.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
Talent Heating and Air plus 97.7 ESPN The Zone Bracket Challenge is coming.
You're going to have to explain that.
Head to 97.7ESPN.com and sign up your team today.
I followed your instructions implicitly.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. Something going on is very confusing to me, and I don't know what the hell they're doing. This is the Birmingham Bulls, who I worked for 4 years, but they're doing something that is really weird, okay? It's Viper weekend for them this weekend. Now, keep in mind, Joe Stroud, who was the GM of the Vipers, and the Birmingham Bulls was owned and founded by Art Clarkson, who was the owner of the Tennessee Valley Vipers, okay? So, and they're in Birmingham, and of course, Art has passed away, but Joe is the GM of this of the Birmingham Bulls. Maybe I should ask him what's going on here. Well, this weekend it's Viper weekend in Birmingham, and I'm like, what is that up about? And they're re-imaging themselves as the Cahaba Valley Vipers, and the logo is very much like the Tennessee Valley Viper logo. What is the Cahaba Valley? Grizz, do you know what the Cahaba Valley is?
Well, I know that it's literally an area in Shelby County. I know it's...
So it's down there.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's down there. All right, so that's their... So instead of being the Tennessee Valley Vipers, they're the Cahaba Valley Vipers, and they're wearing special jerseys, and it's Viper. I mean, they're ripping off the Vipers, right? The Tennessee Valley Vipers. There's nothing... And they're playing Fayetteville. They're not even playing Huntsville. They're playing Fayetteville, and they're going to be the Cahaba Valley Vipers for this weekend with hats and jerseys and everything else. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, that would be like the Havoc doing a Birmingham Steel Dog night. Are they going to be the Huntsville Steel Dogs? This is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I've been to Cahaba, Alabama. It's beautiful down there, but I really don't know the whole Vipers aspect behind it.
So you're saying that there's an area of Birmingham that goes by Cahaba Valley? I've never even heard of Cahaba Valley. I've been here 18 years.
It's near Oak Mountain.
Crazy. All right, let me go to the lines. Jason is up. Jason, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am great. And when you go down Highway 459, there'll be a exit called Liberty Parkway. You take a ride on it and turn on Crosshaven, and you'll be on Cahaba Valley Road.
All right. And so they're going to be the Cahaba Valley Vipers. They're going to be the Cahaba Valley Vipers with Tennessee Valley Viper look to their uniform for that game. This is weird. It's kind of a ripoff, man. They're ripping us off.
It's in the Vestavia Hills area.
Yeah. All right. Well, that makes sense. I mean, you play in Pelham.
Here's my scenario for you. Vanderbilt meets Alabama for the championship game and defeats Alabama, and all is forgotten about the 57-point whipping Alabama put on them. And then Jerry Stackhouse wins 2 games in the NCAA tournament, and then the most Vanderbilt thing happens in the world. North Carolina doesn't make the tournament this year, and they figure out they brought in the wrong Tar Heel.
Jerry Stackhouse. I mean, Vandy. Now, do you really think Vandy could be? Vandy would not beat Alabama. They don't go from getting beat by 57 points to to beating Alabama. You think Vandy can get over on Kentucky?
Yeah,
I mean, they did earlier, and in this stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Vanderbilt secure their way into the NCAA tournament. To me, Jerry Stackhouse after the Alabama game has done one nice job coaching.
He's done a great job since the Alabama game. 8-1 since the Alabama game. I thought he would get fired. I thought at that point in time, Stackhouse was on the verge of getting fired. That's what I thought.
And then his best player, supposedly his best player, Robin, he's laid up, so he's not even playing. So I can't even remember the guy's name. The big guy, he's got a funny name, shoots 3-pointers. So he's playing with the second and third team big man out there.
Well, he's figured out something. That's for sure.
And he don't have the Pippen kid this year. So he's done more coaching. Everything was run through the Scottie Pippen Jr. last year. And the last 3.
But don't you think that after the Alabama game, at that particular point in time, it looked like he was headed for getting canned?
Right. I mean, that was humiliating. You're on your home court and you lose by over 50 points. That's not supposed to happen. You're supposed to get 7 points for playing at home.
I wonder if they got to beat Kentucky to get in the tournament. You know, I wonder if this because they're not in right now. Lenardi doesn't even have them in first 4 out. He doesn't have them in first 4 out or next 4 out.
Yeah, they got a blind draw on this. That I mean, it looks sort of decent that you're going to get to play either Georgia or LSU, and you win a game in the SEC tournament. That is a bonus.
You win that game.
Yeah. Yep, and you will have to beat Kentucky, I say, to make the NCAA. I think that'll wake people up because 8-1 is really good. I thought it used to be the last 10 games, how you perform got you in the NCAA tournament. And there's not many that say they win first game in the SEC tournament. There's not many teams that won 9-1 at the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at it. I mean, they ended up 11-7 in the SEC, 18-13 overall, but they ended up 11-7 in the SEC. There are teams, you know, when you look at the 7 or 8 teams that look like they're locked into the tournament. I mean, they got the same Missouri, 11-7 in the SEC. Tennessee, 11-7 in the SEC, right? I mean, and these are teams that are considered in the tournament easily. I mean, Kentucky was only 12-6, 1 game better than them in the SEC. Right. You know, so it's like, yeah. I mean, Arkansas is in the tournament. Arkansas is 8-10 in the SEC.
Right. You do a blind resume, and line up Auburn against them. Auburn's only got 1 or 2, maybe quad 4 wins. Vanderbilt's got 7.
2.
And 2. And what about quad 1?
Well, actually, they've got 3. Auburn's got 3 quad 1 wins.
All right.
They're 3-9. I think Auburn ended up 3-9 in quad 1 wins. I'm not looking at it right now, but I know they were 2-8 going into the Alabama and Tennessee games. So, and they split those. So I'd say they're 3-9. But Auburn was 10-8 in the SEC. Vandy is 11-7 in the SEC. You know,
right?
Just saying.
Vanderbilt beat them. Vanderbilt beat them straight up,
and they beat them.
Yep, and they defeated Kentucky. Auburn didn't defeat Kentucky.
Yeah.
They more or less lost by 20 points.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, good job by you, Jason.
Enjoy your trip in Florida.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Let me get to Philip in here. Philip, what's going on?
What's up?
Philip.
So here's what's going down. Alabama's going to get their butt whipped. And it's all because of that jackwagon on this station in the morning. And I'm going to laugh and laugh and laugh. They ain't going to win the SEC.
War Eagle.
They ain't even going to make the Sweet 16.
So you think, wait a minute, you think they're going to lose the tournament because of, who's the jackwagon? Oh, are you saying Drew?
War Eagle.
I think he's talking about Drew. Okay, so you think that the Alabama will lose in the SEC tournament because of Drew? I don't think it works that way. I'm just going to say that.
Not just because of him. Not just because of him. Because of the jackwagons that are running that organization and what they've done concerning the whole 9 yards. But for that jackwagon to come for you, this is
Alabama.
So you're saying karma. You think karma is going to kill the Tide. Karma. Okay.
Karma.
Okay.
Not Carmen. A lot of Carmens. Great Carmens. This is going to be karma.
Yeah, I think they're going to the final in the SEC tournament. I think they're going to the final, and I think anything less than an Elite Eight would be a disappointing end to the season. Maybe that's a better way to put it. I think anything less than an Elite Eight would be if they were to go out in the Sweet 16 or before. I think that's disappointing if you're a 1 seed.
Most definitely.
Right? I mean, that's disappointing. It was a great season. It'll be right. It'll be remembered as this great season.
Not bubbles out of them. Wasn't even close. It's one dude, and the one dude is kind of suspicious. I'm just saying, he's a little bit suspicious.
They are more than one dude, though. All right, man.
6th man of the year.
Yeah, that one, the suspicious dude was
Von
freshman of the year and
Charles
SEC player of the year.
Defensive player of the year.
The Sears kid. I mean, yeah, they're a little bit more than one guy.
Second team all Sears.
All right, Philip, I appreciate you. It's a good job of you.
Hey,
actually, that wasn't really. There? Yes, you are.
Hey, how about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys?
Let's get a break. We'll come back and do a little Carey's Corner with Josh Carey next on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan@danaldridgelaw.com. dan@danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Just mix a packet of Eucora with water and drink it when you need support, like right after intimacy. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Now's the time to order your spiral cut honey glazed ham or turkey for Easter from Apple Lane in Decatur. Or maybe consider ordering the family meal deal for Easter that includes an Apple Lane ham, a dozen rolls, sweet potato dumplings, potato salad, and Apple Lane's award-winning banana pudding. This week you can get your Apple Lane Easter goodness for half price with our zone deal. $50 worth for just $25. Get your zone deal beginning Friday at 977ESPN.com. Apple Lane on the Beltline in Decatur. You may only use one coupon per purchase.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Wednesday, expect scattered showers, mainly in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see a mostly cloudy sky. High temperatures are expected to top out in the low 60s for the afternoon. Heading into your Wednesday night, a few isolated showers going to be possible after midnight. Otherwise, expect a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures falling into the mid and upper 40s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
This is Mike Greenberg. Be sure and download the app today. Just search for 97.7 ESPN and listen to my show every weekday right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
We're talking baseball. Klazuski, Campanella talking baseball. The man and Bobby Fella, the Scooter, the Barber, and the Nuke. They knew them all from Boston to Dubuque, especially Willie, Mickey, and the Duke.
And welcome back. Tom Abraham Show. This segment of the show is brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental. You know, Valley Equipment is locally owned. They are a family equipment rental business, and they serve the entire Tennessee Valley. And they work with local contractors. They build repeat business with these local contractors. They specialize in long-term rentals for their local contractors. But you, the homeowner, can take advantage as well. One of the best deals they got at Valley Equipment is, the weekend deal where you can pick it up after 2 o'clock on a Friday and hang on to the equipment until Monday morning at 8 o'clock when you got to have it back in, and you pay a one-day rental. And for a small fee, they will haul your equipment anywhere in the Tennessee Valley as well. It's Valley Equipment. Go to valleyequipmentrents.com to learn more. We so appreciate Ross Roberts and what they do at Valley Equipment Rental. All right, joining us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, a guy that we also appreciate. It's time for a little Carey's Corner with Josh Carey, the voice of the Tennessee Valley Trash Pandas, or of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. See, I'm still thinking about that Tennessee Valley Viper.
Like Cahaba Valley.
The Cahaba Valley Vipers, Tennessee Valley Vipers, that's bothering me. I'm going to call Joe Stroud, and I'm going to complain to him about what they're doing down there. But Josh Carey joins us now. Josh, welcome in. How are you?
I'm good. We almost called ourselves the Tennessee Valley Trash Pandas one moon long ago. And the reason why we didn't do it is because, one, we're Alabama, and two, we didn't want people to mix up the football. The football's pretty good down here. So gotta get Tennessee out.
I didn't know the first time I came to the Tennessee Valley was to do a Florida Firecats versus Tennessee Valley Viper Arena Football League game. And I did not know that the Tennessee Valley wasn't in Tennessee. I thought we were going to Tennessee. And, I got up here, and it was Huntsville, Alabama, and I'm like, really? I didn't know that. But, these hockey teams, they like to do these jersey night things and all these alternate jerseys. And the hockey team in Birmingham, which is the GM of that team, was the GM of the Tennessee Valley Vipers football team. and the team was founded down there by Art Clarkson, who was the owner of the Vipers here. They're doing a Cahaba Valley Vipers weekend where they're wearing Viper gear. Now, our hockey team, the Huntsville Havoc, they'll be wearing Trash Panda themed gear on Saturday night. So that's really cool. But I don't know about those guys. Those guys down there in Birmingham are kind of ripping off the Valley.
Wow. Okay. Well, we do a lot of that anyway. I mean, we do a lot of specialty jersey giveaways, and usually there's some sort of auction where folks can get the jerseys, and they're great because we split between our foundation and a local 501(c)(3). So we'll be doing plenty of that throughout the year, and it's a typical thing among minor league sports.
Have you seen the hockey jersey, or do you have a Trash Panda hockey jersey?
I don't personally, but I know we have a couple in frames up on our stadium club. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool, and they'll be giving those away at the Havoc game coming up on Saturday night. All right, so we got Andy Schatzley coming up at the top of the hour. Give us why aren't you in Arizona? Shouldn't you be in Arizona, kind of like making notes and getting a feel for these guys and everything else? Why did they leave you behind? Why aren't you in Arizona with the Angels?
They always leave me behind. Lindsay and Garrett always get to go, and I always left behind. That's kind of how it works. But I'm probably going to head out in a couple of weeks for a few days just to check it out. But yeah, that's also I've been a little busy myself doing some Alabama baseball and UAB stuff. So I've been plenty busy, but I'm going to get out there in a couple of weeks.
When Alabama plays Middle Tennessee there at Toyota Field on March 28th, will you be doing that game? I know the Alabama Crimson Tide Network will have it. We'll have it on our air from the Crimson Tide Network. But will you be doing that game in any way?
Not that I know of. I haven't done it for Auburn, and obviously Alabama's going to want to have their own people on, whether that's Chris or Roger or a combination of the two. But certainly I'm available, and who knows if Bama basketball and the women's team are both still playing. There might be a chance there. I don't know if they're going to do the SEC TV plus whatever thing either, but we'll see. As of right now, though, the answer is no.
They're a pretty good baseball team. You said you've done some of their games, right? They're what are they, 12-0, I think, to start the season so far.
Yeah, they're 13-0, and they're playing well. They're a pretty deep team. Right now, they're number 18 in the country. They had a lot of guys return who some folks thought might not return, and so that really helped. The only knock I'm going to give them is they really haven't played anyone just yet, and they really don't need to because SEC baseball is so deep. So they really haven't been challenged just yet. They're going to play Alabama State tonight, and then they got a 3-game set coming up at home against Columbia, which is actually a pretty good program. And then they're going to get into SEC play next week against Florida. So we'll know a lot more about these guys in the next 2 to 3 weeks than I would say we do at this point right now.
Yeah, and, SEC baseball is the best college baseball in the country. There's no doubt about that. But having said that, I tried to tell people this story back in the day when I was in Florida, and I used to be at a Miami Hurricanes affiliate, and the Hurricanes were winning national championships then. And it was a young man by the name of Kevin Brown that was on the Miami Hurricane championship team. They won the national championship, and he immediately then reported to the New York Penn League. I don't even know if they have the New York Penn League anymore, but the New York Penn League, which was low A at the time. And I asked him, I said, I had him on the air, and I said, your New York Penn League team, Wooden Bats, how does your New York Penn League low A professional minor league team stack up against the national champion Miami Hurricanes? And this was like 2003 or 2004. And he said we'd beat them probably 4 out of 5 games if we played 5 times against the national championship. That's just how good the baseball is, and that was low A. And, so sometimes I think people, they get a little bit confused. They look at a double A baseball team like the Trash Pandas, and as much as we love our college baseball, the Trash Pandas, I mean, that's a whole nother level when you're talking about double A ball.
Oh, a perfect example is Sonny DeShera. He was great last year with Auburn, and then he immediately came up here to double A, and he struggled. And it's because the pitching here is a little different than the pitching in the SEC. The pitching in the SEC, guys have maybe 2 or 3 pitches, but they might not have movement or they might not have velocity. At this level, guys have velocity. They have movement. They can go to a fourth pitch if they need to. So it's very advanced. The biggest difference here, though, between college and pro is at the college level, you're trying to win, right? You're trying to win a conference title, a national title, whatever. At the minor league level, yeah, you want to win too. That's how you build winners. You win games. But development comes first. And so there's always kind of that little twist to it, and that's probably why minor league ball doesn't get as much attention as maybe the college game does. But if you're talking about talent, pound-for-pound talent, then, yeah, Double-A would win going away easily over an S&C team.
Josh Carey with us here. I noticed that they're using Sonny D quite a bit in their promotional material, right? They got the single-game tickets on sale now, and there's old Sonny D with his wooden bat in his hand, ready to go. And I noticed they're using him as a model, if you will, for the junkyard as well, for gear that they're selling. I wouldn't think of Sonny D as being model material necessarily, but they're using him in that. So they are taking advantage of a guy that was very popular for Auburn.
Yeah, well, I think they did the modeling part because his wife is absolutely breathtaking.
Oh, really?
They have her on there with him, so I think that's probably why they did it. But no, in all seriousness, Sonny is I expect him to be here just because he struggled so much last season. It would be right up the road from his hometown, and it would just make a lot of sense, I think. That said, if he blows it up these next couple of weeks, maybe they move him to AAA. Or if he really, really struggles, maybe they move him down to Single A. But I think it makes a whole lot of sense to expect him to be back here, at least for the beginning of this season. We're going to have a bobblehead night giveaway of him in September as well. I highly doubt he'll be here by then, but it should be interesting. I expect him to be here, and I think he'll be doing a lot better. I know he's lost a ton of weight. He looks great, and I can't wait to see him perform.
So you don't think he'll be there in September, but you're thinking up, not down. You're thinking that he's going to have a decent season.
Oh yeah. I think he's much too good not to move up. His game is going to be hitting. Now he's never going to be a great defensive player. I think he can be serviceable. I think he can be good over at first, but he's one of these guys who's going to lean heavily on the designated hitter, and that's who he's going to be. And I think if he can, maintain his weight and take care of himself and do the things that he knows he's capable of doing, he could do this for the next 10 years of his life and be set up for life. So it's all right there in front of him. It's just a matter of doing it now.
We're going to talk to Andy at the top of the hour. How much time does he get with his guys now, do you think? Do you think he's, they're all it's all Angels camp right now, right? I mean, I know he's been in the dugout with some of these Angel games and things like that as well, helping out, but it's kind of like all hands on deck. Everybody kind of still together at this point?
Right now, I know the minor league camp started about March 1st, so I think probably before this time next week, they'll probably break everyone off, and that way he can go over and really focus on the minor league guys. If you look at it's actually kind of neat right now. You look at the Angels spring training games, you're seeing trash pandas all over the place. And so right now those guys are a part of the Angels camp, but that'll break off soon enough, and Andy will get a chance to look at the guys who he thinks will play and guys who are on the bubble as well.
How sweet is it watching some of this spring training? I've seen maybe 10, 15 innings of spring training baseball, and I'm just enamored with the pace. I mean, of everything else right now, I'm not even thinking about shift and all that other than the big bases and everything else. I'm just thinking about pace, and it has been a delight. I mean, hopefully the umpires will continue to enforce it, not be stupid or ridiculous if you get a case like we had with that Braves game where they had the bases loaded and a full count, and they ended the game on that. But the pace has just been a thing of beauty.
Yeah, I was watching the Angels-Padres game yesterday, and the final 2.5 innings must have taken about 20 minutes. I mean, that may be a little on the extreme, but that's what baseball needs. Look, when you're in a society right now that is dominated by football, where the NBA is a solid number 2, number 3-ish sport, kind of jockeying for position with baseball, you got to find a way to keep up with those sports. And the two things those sports have at their advantage is a clock. Well, maybe it was just time for baseball to institute a clock and move the game along. Look, we can't have people spending hundreds of dollars on a Major League Baseball game and only get 3 or 4 innings worth before they have to go home and get ready for work the next day. If baseball hopes to survive, they got to give people a chance to come to a ball game, watch 9 innings, be able to get in their car, fight traffic, and get home at a reasonable hour so they can get up tomorrow and start their work day. So it was overdue. I know a lot of people were pushing back against it. I know a lot of old-time guys who hate it. But at the end of the day, it's about making the fans happy and continuing to draw fans to your stadium. And if every game's taking 3.5, 4 hours, well, there's no reason for fans to show up. So baseball has done the right thing here. And if they can give it a month, if the old-timers can give it a month and let it work out, it has a chance to be very successful. But they got to be a little patient.
Hey, listen, if they're true old-timers, tell them to go watch some World Series games from the 50s on YouTube and see how the game moved then without having to have a clock. You know what I mean? Yeah. They didn't change it to 2 strikes and 3 balls. They didn't change it to 7 innings. What they did was they eliminated walking around the mound, scratching yourself, getting in and out of the box. We did the math, 67 hours. They took 67 hours of nothingness out of the game. Yeah. They didn't take action out of the game. All you got to do is go back and look at some of those old videos from the 50s and 60s and see the way baseball was played, get the ball, pitch the ball, stay in the box, all that kind of stuff. And, that was the heyday.
That was the heyday, and it worked. And I think a lot of players, what happened was, as they were coming up in their careers, they were told, hey, why do you have to worry? You got all the time in the world. Focus on being right and feeling good and doing what you need to do. Well, no, it's not about how you feel. It's not about whether you feel good. How about just grabbing the ball and pitching it? How about standing in the box and swinging the bat? Some of these guys just got to be so cerebral in how they approach the game that they overthought everything and they micromanaged themselves to the point where it's an absolute bore to watch. And I love baseball, but I don't want to watch a 3.5-hour game. So this has a chance to be good for everyone, including the athletes involved. If they can get used to that new pace, they might find out they like it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, Josh Carey has been our guest. Josh, I appreciate you so much. It's always good to talk a little country hardball with you. We're getting close now. We'll do it again next week.
Sounds good, partner. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll grab a break. We'll come back. We'll set you up for hour number 2 next, right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop, but if you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So if you happen to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Wednesday, expect scattered showers mainly in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see a mostly cloudy sky. High temperatures are expected to top out in the low 60s for the afternoon. Heading into your Wednesday night, a few isolated showers going to be possible after midnight. Otherwise, expect a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures falling into the mid and upper 40s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Online at 977ESPN.com.
Stream them online.
Call in.
It's an important job, and it's an vital organization.
Tweet in and join in. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Keep the hardball conversation going. Andy Schatzley, longtime baseball man. Well, I want to see what he feels about these rules and what we may or may not see, including the fact that the bases are the distance between first and second, second and third, third and home have been reduced by 4 inches based on the size of the bases. So I guess third and home, home to first and third to home wouldn't be, but first to second, second to third would be. Should we anticipate seeing the running game be more of a thing? Plus, Lamar Jackson is now a unrestricted free agent. We're going to talk about that, where he might end up and who says they're in on him and who says they're not. We'll get into that conversation and much, much more in hour number 2 of the Tom Abraham Show here on Hump Day in the Doghouse on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Humphreys has a brand new team to take care of downtown Huntsville and a new menu to go with it. Check out Humphreys' new small plates like fried Brussels sprouts and fried green tomatoes, new street tacos, and the best pork chop in town. Not to mention shareable desserts made by our own pastry chef at the bottle. Best of all, Humphreys still has the best happy hour nightly drink specials and free live music. So get to downtown and get to Humphreys Bar and Grill, located online at humphreysdowntown.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. As the clock ticks toward today's 4 Eastern NFL franchise tag deadline, there are 2 giant decisions ahead for the New York Giants regarding quarterback Daniel Jones and running back Saquon Barkley. ESPN's Diana Rossini reports the team's working toward getting a long-term contract done with Jones.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Check out VSiN's catalog of original podcasts, daily and weekly programming to keep you in the know when you're on the go. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Houston Cougars, UCLA Bruins, Kansas Jayhawks, and Alabama Crimson Tide remain the favorites to win the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Houston, the number 1 team in this week's AP Top 25, a plus 650 bet. UCLA, number 2 this week, they're a plus $1,200 bet. Same thing with Alabama, who dropped 2 spots to number 4. Kansas, up to number 2 this week, the Jayhawks, a plus $900 bet. Gonzaga captured the West Coast Conference Championship with a win over St. Mary's on Tuesday. The Bulldogs, plus $2,000 to win it all. UCLA, plus $140 to win the Pac-12. Purdue, plus $180 to win the Big Ten. Miami and Virginia plus $290 to win the ACC.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Wednesday, expect scattered showers, mainly in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see a mostly cloudy sky. High temperatures are expected to top out in the low 60s for the afternoon. Heading into your Wednesday night, a few isolated showers going to be possible after midnight. Otherwise, expect a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures falling into the mid and upper 40s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court to the rack and the flush.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Now's the time to order your spiral cut honey glazed ham or turkey for Easter from Apple Lane in Decatur. Or maybe consider ordering the family meal deal for Easter that includes an Apple Lane ham, a dozen rolls, sweet potato dumplings, potato salad, and Apple Lane's award-winning banana pudding. This week you can get your Apple Lane Easter goodness for half price with our Zone deal. $50 worth for just $25. Get your Zone deal beginning Friday at 977ESPN.com. Apple Lane on the Beltline in Decatur. You may only use one coupon per purchase.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Tom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Tom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis's trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn. I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Tom Abraham Show. The segment of the show brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford. For all your service needs, it's Woody Anderson Ford. They do a tremendous job down there. Don't have to have a Ford to get serviced by Woody Anderson Ford. But I'll tell you what, when you see the certified gold pre-owned vehicles, you're going to say, you know what, maybe I need to tap into that. Go to WoodyAndersonFord.com. You can learn more about that. All right, we're going to continue this baseball theme going on. I know we got the SEC basketball tournament. We gave you some commentary on that. We're going to get back to that in a moment. We got some football stuff to get to, but we're doing some country hardball here. We just had Josh Carey with a little Carey's Corner, and now we head out to Arizona with the manager of the Rocket City Trash Pandas, Andy Schatzley, and he joins us now. Andy, welcome to the show. How are you?
Everything's great. 70 degrees and sunny, so I think we flipped weather with you guys the first couple weeks of spring training. 45 degrees and raining.
Yeah.
45 degrees and raining for a couple of weeks, so it's 80 degrees and sunny, and everything's good out here. So.
Well, I'll just say this, Andy. I'm in Fort Myers right now, right? So I've got the Red Sox and the Twins right here in Fort Myers, and about 40 miles up the road, in Port Charlotte, got the Tampa Bay Rays, and then, of course, the Braves in Northport. So I'm in the middle of spring training Florida style as well, but hot, muggy, and sticky here. I think the climate's a little better for it out there in Arizona.
It is as of this week. We're 70 degrees, no wind today, and no humidity. One of the first team fundamentals we did, we tried to do cutoffs and relays, and the wind was blowing 50 miles an hour. So unless it's doing that there, I think it's if you don't enjoy the weather, like they say for everywhere, just stick around for a couple of days. So it looks like we're settled in here, and everything's going good.
So is everybody – I know that minor league camp opened March 1st, but everybody's still pretty much together? Are you splitting off guys that are – guys that you feel are going to be in your roster? Because we see a lot of Trash Pandas playing, middle to late innings in these Angels spring games right now.
Well, and first off, everything with the roster is way above my pay grade. I'll start by putting that out there first. The guys that were on the roster the year ago and the guys that I guess you would kind of slate on paper for being with us, a good hunk of those guys are still in Major League camp. I'm still on the Major League side for now. Kaz is still on the Major League side for now. Not sure when the cuts are scheduled to be and when they'll start trimming the roster down. But, yeah, we're still over here for now. Minor League full squad workout started today. Dan and Wertzy are over there. So, whenever you have 200 players in camp plus, it stretches the bodies pretty thin. So we're all kind of spread out and divide and conquer at this point, and the guys have done a really good job.
Let me ask you, and you can give me the political answer, or maybe the political answer is the answer that you go with as well. I am that old guy that doesn't want one of my guys getting hurt playing in an exhibition series against Japan or something else for national pride. And the two biggest names in the Angel universe, of course, it's Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, and whether it's in that order or not, are playing in the WBC. And I know it's baseball. You could hurt in a spring training game just as well as a WBC game. But on the other hand, you may push a little harder for national pride. You may go head first into third when you really maybe wouldn't do that in a spring training game or do something like that. How much concern is there about the WBC games and what it takes away from even just having guys in camp, that continuity that you build in training camp and in and in spring training with your teammates?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a concern, but I think whenever you're talking about something in that regard, when you talk about the WBC or the World Cup or the Olympics, you're talking about once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. Once-in-a-lifetime opportunities for the players, once-in-a-lifetime opportunities for a lot of the staff members, and so I think it's a personal decision. I think as an organization, they've done a really good job of having conversations with the players about where they were health-wise, and some of that, or a lot of it, those guys have come into camp knowing that that's coming. So I would imagine Mike and Shohei both, probably adjusted their calendars accordingly. I know that Aaron Whitefield did with regards to his schedule and him playing winter ball and what he was doing in January. With that circle on their calendar where they've got to be ramped up a little more. It's a personal decision for each one of those guys and one that the organization respects, and we have the utmost confidence in their ability as professionals to go and prepare and compete. And you're right. I mean, could something happen? Yes, but at the same time, something could happen in a spring training workout too. And you can't mitigate every risk there is, so you just try to respect their right to make those decisions and have candid conversations, and hopefully they can do what's best for them, and hopefully that falls in line with what's best for the Angels also.
Andy Schneitzler with us.
Really political, by the way. That
was really very good.
But that is actually how I feel also too.
Yeah. So if you had the chance back in your playing days, would you have stayed with your team, or would you have gone to the WBC? I mean, come on now.
If my status on the roster was stable, I would have 100% done.
Really?
Guys that are on the bubble, trying to make a roster, does that become a little more of a difficult decision for them? I'm sure it's hard to pass that up. It would be hard to pass it up. I would say I can't imagine a scenario that I wouldn't have explored it or been interested in doing it if I'd had the opportunity.
Who are some of our guys, some of the trash panda guys that helped you have this wonderful season that you had last year? And by the way, thank you for that. Thank you for playing winning baseball and making that a priority as much as anything else. We know it's developmental and AA and all of those types of things, but you told us at the beginning of the year you were going to play to win games, and I'll be damned if you didn't play to win games. But who has surprised you here in his first couple of weeks, or maybe you've been pleasantly surprised and said, yeah, this dude here is looking pretty good?
None of these guys surprise me. I am very, very biased whenever it comes to our guys. The guys that run our roster are not here. We have a ton of faith in them. I told you, I really felt good about the group of players and staff that we had, but really felt even better about the group of people that we had. And whenever you have people that you can trust, nothing really catches you off guard. They've done a great job. Has it been perfect? No. Are they prepared? Yes. And do they compete? Yes. And that's what they did in Rocket City a year ago, and that's what they're continuing to do out here. And they played pretty tight. It's been a pretty efficient brand whenever they've had a chance to do stuff, and they're getting a little more comfortable. And I think it's awesome for their comfortability to play on this stage in front of these crowds, in this environment, in Major League Spring Training games. And it's been business as usual for them. They prepare good and they compete good, and it's never really at a 4 and it's never at a 10. They stay at that 7 or 8, and everything that they've done this spring is just an extension of what they've proven that they're capable of a year ago.
I heard that Sonny D is like Sonny D Light this year coming into camp. He got himself in a little bit better shape for this upcoming season, for the long season, now that he'll have his first chance for a full minor league season.
100%. It's the professional baseball schedule. I think it's the most underappreciated aspect of it. He went to work this off season. He's done a great job. He's in camp on the minor league side right now. I haven't had a chance to see him a ton. But he's another guy. The makeup's off the charts. The type of teammate he is off the charts, and so really having a full camp season, being able to kind of establish a sense of normalcy on the professional baseball side is going to be huge for him this year.
Ben Joyce, he had the 105-mile-an-hour fastball. Everybody's taking notice of that, and we had a lot of fun watching him with the Vols, and then watching him with the Trash Pandas. Give me a thought about him as he goes from being just straight flamethrower to being a guy that can also pitch a little bit more than just throw.
Yeah, huge. I mean, our pitching department specifically, Worksy for me, did an incredible job with him right out of the gate. And making the stuff that he was already good at better. And a few things that were a little loose here and there, Worksy identified and went to work on right away. Benny is off the charts human. I know I say this about all of them, but our scouting department makeup's a huge deal, and it makes our job really easy, or easier, I guess I should say. And he has continued to progress, just like he did a year ago. He's getting more and more comfortable, and his best baseball's in front of him. The scouts felt that whenever they drafted him. We felt that last year at the end of the season. And from instructional league to what he's doing on the major league side right now, it's trending in the right direction because his process is off the charts. So we're excited for him. It's kind of a strange spot because you're really, really proud of him and hope that we never see him. I hope that I never see him. I hope he breaks camp with the team and he never ends up there again. But if he's back with us again, throwing the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning, we're certainly not going to complain about that either, for sure.
Yeah. All right, before I let you go, I am so enjoying watching Major League Baseball with the pitch clock, and I'm an old school guy. I'm a traditionalist, but this is fantastic. They didn't eliminate any action. What they eliminated was walking around, scratching yourself, fixing your hat, and all that crazy stuff. The action is still there. They didn't change the game fundamentally. This has been phenomenal to watch. Now you saw it anyway, so maybe to you it isn't as a shock to the system. But the bases, I just want your take on that. 4 inches. We see so many bang-bang plays in Major League Baseball. 4-inch difference, first to second, second to third. Do you think that the running game is bad?
For me, it's not one rule. And I said this in the offseason talking about it. I said this to Ronnie Richardson whenever they got our thoughts on it midway through the season. For me, it's not any one of the rules standalone that I think makes it a better game. In my opinion, it's the combination of it's the pick restrictions, it's the clock, the shift restrictions, and the bases. So whenever you talk about a guy can't pick over maybe a second or third time, and then there's a little more room on the right side, are you willing to leave the hole open, and then you're able to shave 2 inches from a bases standpoint too? It's not a different game. It's just a slightly more active game. And so do I think that more activity is coming back? Yes. Do I think that certain teams are going to be running in and outs with Bryce Harper at the plate? No, I don't think that's the case. I think that people are still going to be judicious about choosing their opportunities. But I think that the combination of the rules together, specifically the bases and the shift restrictions combined, is going to lead to more first to third. It's going to lead to more 3-2 runners in motion and that type of thing. And I think it's a game that's moving away from the 3 true outcomes: the walk, the homer, and the strikeout. I think it's the pendulum swinging back to the middle to a more traditional brand, and I think that's good for the brand and good for true fans of baseball.
You're in the dugout with the major leaguers. Is there a lot of grousing and bitching and moaning about the clock, or are they like adapting and let's go?
Zero. There have been.
Cool.
I mean, does it take some getting used to? Yes. Have I heard one complaint about it? No. And no more complaints about it than what we had a year ago. If the clock's operated consistently, you don't hear anything out of anybody. Whenever there's inconsistency with how the game is managed from the umpires or the clock operator, that's going to lead to a little bit of frustration, but not with the clock itself. Just the consistency of it. And these guys have been great from day one. A lot of the defensive stuff has been on the clock. A lot of the bullpens have been on the clock to have pitchers get a feel, and they've been complete pros. Complete pros about it. taking it in stride and understanding that, that stuff's outside of our control. They've done a really good job of focusing, and it's been just like I said, it's been business as usual, very similar to what we did a year ago, I think.
Andy Schatzley has been our guest out there with the Los Angeles Angels at spring training. And, Andy, I appreciate you so much. Great stuff. Enjoy the rest of your time in Arizona, and we'll chat when you guys come back and we have the Meet the Trash Pandas Day at the ballpark. Can't wait for that.
Awesome. Looking forward to it, and thank you for everything you do for our players.
All right, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Andy Schatzley. He sounds fired up. Didn't he sound a little more? He sounded a little like they got a game getting ready to go here.
I think he was trying to get somewhere else. Like as I was getting him on, pretty much. He was in transition.
He sounded wound up a little bit. He was a little bit. He was talking a little faster. He's ready. He's ready. He had a lead. He had a good lead off first. Yeah, he sounded like he had a good little lead off first there, and he sounded quite fired up. No doubt about that. All right, so if you want to react to that, you want to do some baseball, you want to weigh in on that, certainly you can do it. It is spring training time, so you can do that as well. If you want to react to the SEC tournament getting started tonight, I'll reset my thoughts on the SEC tournament. You want to tell us who's going to the final, where's the upset in the SEC tournament, and, can Vandy play themselves into the big tournament and be the 9th SEC team to get in there? Right now, we think there are 8 teams in the tournament. Is Vanderbilt, which finished 8-0 and finished with a better league in the record, or better record in the league than a few of the teams that are considered locks for the big tournament, are they being slighted a little bit? I don't know why I'm talking about Vanderbilt, but I mean, right now, that's kind of a story in the SEC. Went 8-1 after they got thrashed by Alabama. They went 8-1. I thought Jerry Stackhouse would get fired, and he ended up being the co-coach of the year in the SEC. And they beat Tennessee and Kentucky and Auburn down the stretch. Now they likely are going to have another game with Kentucky coming up on Thursday night. And, we'll see how that goes. But right now, most people, Jerry Palm and Joe Lunardi, do not have Vanderbilt in the tournament. Now, Arkansas in there. Arkansas has a worse record in the SEC than Vandy. So does Auburn. Auburn's in there now. Right now is an 8, 9, or 10 seed in the tournament. And so whether or not they can get in or not. We know who the favorite is. The favorite is the Crimson Tide. We understand that. And they are right now looking to go and pull the daily double again. Get the regular season title and cut down the nets in the tournament. All right? Would you be disappointed if they didn't? And further, as we look ahead to the big tournament, you start thinking about Alabama. Let's assume they're going to be a 1 seed. I think that they're a 1 seed. If they win on Friday, they're a 1 seed, okay? Maybe even if they don't. But I think if they do, for sure, obviously they're a 1 seed. If you are a 1 seed, any 1 seed, at what point are you disappointed? If you go out in, do you have to go to the Final Four for it to be considered a success? Is it a disappointing end to a great season if they go out in the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8? It's been a long time since Alabama was a team that was playing an Elite 8, okay? If they were to go out at that point in time, do you say, well, that's kind of a disappointing end for a team that 3 weeks ago was considered the number 1 overall seed, at that point in time? So you want to weigh in on that? You can weigh in on that. Plus, I got football to get to. It's all coming up. The rest of the way, phone lines are open. So you want to jump in, you can jump in right now. 256-5764-97.7. Get you into the show. Text window is open, 7329. And TA show, that's 732-982-7469. This is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Just mix a packet of Eucora with water and drink it when you need support, like right after intimacy. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time?
or even show up at all, I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Buongiorno, Tom Chapman from Nick's Ristorante here with Chef Joey Kindred. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
Seriously? So what's so great about being chef at Nick's?
Serving award-winning 21-day aged certified Angus beef, fresh seafood, and third-generation Italian family recipes.
That and an awesome owner, right?
So, if I say yes, do I get a raise?
No. What else should people know about Nick?
We showcase local musicians and have a cigar-friendly bar and bistro.
Time to put you on the spot, Chef. What's the phone number?
256-489-8280.
What's the website?
NicksRestaurante.com.
And what are the hours?
Doors open at 5 o'clock, Tuesday through Saturday. Dining room closes at 9. Bar closes depending on volume.
Molto bene, Chef. It's time to say goodbye, Joey.
Goodbye, Joey.
Come on, man.
Okay, how's this? Ciao e buon appetito.
Nice. Horrible accent, but nice. So again, please come see us at Nick's. Can't wait to see you there.
Nick's is for patrons 19 or older.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Wednesday, expect scattered showers, mainly in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see a mostly cloudy sky. High temperatures are expected to top out in the low 60s for the afternoon. Heading into your Wednesday night, a few isolated showers going to be possible after midnight. Otherwise, expect a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures falling into the mid and upper 40s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Greeny. with Mike Greenberg.
This is Mike Greenberg. You're listening to 97.7 ESPN The Zone, your home of ESPN Radio, the Alabama Crimson Tide, Atlanta Braves baseball, Huntsville Havoc hockey, and the UAH Chargers.
Somewhere between heaven and the tall pine trees.
Welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. Our final day. Remember, we're off the rest of the week because of the SEC basketball tournament. I'll just find something to do here in Florida. You know what I mean? I'll just have to come up with. Actually, tomorrow I'm recording Bassmaster Radio, but hopefully we'll have that all in the can and good to go. And then maybe at some point in time I can actually get in that pool. I was in the pool yesterday, though, for a little while, Grizz. I did get in the pool yesterday, and I actually played cards. My daughter has these waterproof cards and playing cards, and I played gin with my wife. We were playing gin, all right? I played gin with my wife in the pool yesterday. While the little dog was running around the side of the pool, barking at us and everything else. But
he is a little up there in age. He's in his late 50s.
I remember that from Justin Ferguson, a little up there in age, talking about old people all day. And you're playing gin. You're not going to play poker. You're not going to play war. You're not going to play anything silly.
No, gin.
We like gin.
We play that gin. Let me tell you something about old people, okay? I come down here, and even though my daughter's like 41, she's my oldest daughter. And they're the rarity here. I always say newlywed and nearly dead.
Yes,
down here. I cannot believe. I feel it makes me feel so young when I'm here. We went to dinner at some dinner club, some joint that they're members of last night.
When's
and
bingo
I had
night?
I had a $36. It had a $36 pork chop.
Ooh, yeah.
A $36 pork chop. This pork chop was the size of your head. I mean, the thing was amazing.
That's good for $36, yeah.
World famous pork chop. You know, and there were 6 of us all together at dinner, and it had to be $500, I would say, for dinner. But you look around the room, and it is like
Branson, Missouri.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, these people are also old. I mean, it's incredible. Old and wrinkly and dark and wrinkly and old.
Hey, you got to embrace it, man.
Made me feel young. I'm not
finally
good for
retired.
them.
They're finally retired after working for so many years. They're embracing themselves or using their money on it, on a great steak or a great pork chop or something. You know what I mean?
So I went to Mel's Diner this morning with my wife and my parents. My parents are 83 years old. And so they met us at the Mel's Diner to have a little late breakfast with them there. And I was here in the office at 6:30 Eastern time. By the way, I'm on Eastern time right now. I'm all jacked up because then Sunday we jump forward right an hour. And then when I drive home on Sunday, we'll lose an hour again that we just gained. Like we're gaining an hour Sunday morning. No, we're losing an hour Sunday morning. And then I'm going to gain the hour back Sunday night when I head out. I'm going to try and head out Sunday night and get a jump on getting back because of the traffic is unbelievable. So I go with my 83-year-old parents. My wife and I and my 83-year-old parents this morning to have this brunch at Mel's Diner. And I looked around and I told my wife, I said, this is the same crowd of people that were at dinner last night. All these old, wrinkly people.
It's like a resort. It's like if you live near a resort, it's like the same people that you kind of see in the same area all the time. And then you go to another resort, it's the same.
They all look the same to me. They were all wrinkly and dark, tan, heavily tanned and wrinkly. So it was. I forget. And then there's a lady pulling out of the parking lot. She had a crossover, one of them SUV crossover things.
Yeah.
And she had the back up. And she didn't know how to get the back down. The back hatch was up in the air. And she kept pushing. She was driving. And she kept pushing the button to try to put the hatch down. And I wanted to tell her, I'm like, do you know the hatch? Oh, she knew the hatch was up. And you gotta put the car in park to put the hatch down.
Yeah.
Yeah, to open it and to close it. She opened the hatch. She put something in the back. She got in the car, backed out of the parking spot, and then kept trying to put the hatch down, and then finally just, with the car in gear, and then finally just said, screw it, and took off down the highway with the hatch up. Like, oh, my God.
She's got a bungee cord down and be all right.
These people. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Let me tell you something, and I say this in all sincerity. If it wasn't for my parents, and my parents, they're not buying green apples. I mean, they're 83 years old, although they're both in wonderful shape. I sat there this morning, and all I listened to was my mother talking about her new horse and how the horse, breaking in the horse, and the horse that, my mother's a horsewoman, and the horse this, and the horse that, and the horse the other thing, and the stable, and blah, 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 on this horse, okay? She's like, I think in a couple of years I'll have her, just right, and right now she doesn't want to do. I'm like, Ma, you're 83 years old. What do you mean in a couple of years you're going to have the horse just right? I mean, I asked her. I said,
don't put her. Yeah, she's going to be on it.
I know, but I'm like, do you saddle the horse yourself? Oh, yeah. I saddle the horse. An 83-year-old woman, you know how heavy a saddle is? She saddles the horse, cinches up the saddle and everything. Because they live in a community where there's a horse barn, a 10-horse barn in the middle. And everybody has a 5-acre lot all the way around this community. And it all backs right up to the horse barn. So they have, stable guys that are in there, and they take care of the horses. They feed the horses and things like that. And they pay whatever they pay, $400 or $500 a month for the horse to have its stall, in the barn. And then each person's house, the pasture goes right up to the back of their house. So when her horse comes out of the barn, the horse comes right up to their house and runs around behind their house.
That's cool.
And they can see their house. So I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm like, so do the stable guys, do they saddle your horse for you? She goes, no, I saddle my own horse. I go, do they cinch it for you? Because I don't know if you've ever saddled a horse. I grew up with horses, but you saddle the horse. You pull the cinch tight one time. What horses do is they take a big breath. They always do that. They take a big breath when you go to cinch the thing so that you don't tighten it too tight. So you pull it up, you cinch it, and then they go like that. And when they let the air out, you give it another pull. You give it another good cinch and make it nice and tight. But they always try to screw with you. You know what I mean? They'll leave their lungs full of air. Anyway. So I'm like, are you doing it? Oh, yeah, I do it. And then my father starts telling me stories. Yeah, the horse ran her over. Did you know the horse ran her over? I'm like, what do you mean the horse ran her over? And then they were bringing a horse. They were driving the horse from Tallahassee, and he's driving his F-350, towing the big trailer with the horse in the trailer, and it came to an agricultural inspection station. And my mother told him that he didn't have to stop. He's like, I think we got to stop at the ag center. You can't drive by the ag center with an animal. And she's like, no, you don't have to stop there. And I'm like, and my dad's like, yeah, we had to stop there. And he goes, I wasn't 40 seconds past the thing. Went, wee, 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 the lights, and they pull me over. And the guy says, what are you doing? You can't just drive by with an animal in a trailer. He said, he blamed it on my mother. He's like, she told me I can't. God, let him go.
That's
what
good.
A warning.
That's perfect.
It's so Florida. It's just not. Anyway, so if my oldest daughter didn't live, if my oldest daughter didn't live here with her fiance, who is a home building contractor, I mean, they must have 30 homes, being built right now. He's a building contractor, and his family's been in the business for years, so they're a Florida family. He's born and bred, Gator fan, lived in Florida his whole life. My daughter moved down here with us 20 years ago, and she never left. She didn't go back. When we went to Alabama and to Tennessee, she did not leave. She stayed here. Anyway, if they didn't live down here, I would never come down here again. No, I wouldn't. I would never come here again. If my parents and my daughter wasn't here, I would never come here. I mean, I don't get it. It's not pretty. It's not. The ocean's nice. Okay, I'll say that. The ocean's nice, to go to the beach. Let me tell you something. You know what the two best things are about going to the beach?
The food
getting there
and the beach.
No, getting there and leaving. Those are the two. You're excited to get there, and then when you're there, you want to leave.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's true. Well, until the last day when I've only been there for a couple days or something, and it's like I'm meeting up with my family or something. I'm just kind of like, man, I wish I could stay one more day. Just one more day, but not 2 or 3 or 4 more days. I wouldn't want to live down there.
So we haven't been over to Fort Myers Beach yet, which was devastated by the storm. It's all wiped out, and we're going to do that tomorrow. We're going to go across the bridge tomorrow, and we're going to see what it looks like over there and try and spend a little time. There's 1 or 2 restaurants that are open over there, so we'll try and have lunch over there, and we'll see what that is like. But outside of that, really, especially when you get to North Florida is beautiful. I love it around Tallahassee. I love Lake County. I love, Lake Toho and Harris Chain of Lakes and areas like that. But when you get down south of I-4 and south, Tampa, Sarasota, down this part of it's really not a pretty state. It's flat. There's no height to the trees because a tornado or a hurricane comes every 3 years and wipes all the trees out. I'm just saying, there's nothing. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Our area where we live, it's one of the most beautiful areas in the country. It really is. I mean, it's ridiculously pretty. Lamar Jackson was tendered a non-exclusive franchise tag by the Ravens yesterday, meaning now anyone can make him an offer. And then the Ravens would have 5 days to match that offer. Or if they don't match the offer, they get 2 first-round picks from the team that signs Lamar Jackson. Now, Bill Barnwell of ESPN.com, he listed the top 10 contenders to sign the 26-year-old, often injured, former MVP, Lamar Jackson. And the Falcons were listed as the number 1 contender. The Falcons were 7-10 in the weakest division in the NFL last year. Remember, it was 3 7-10 teams, and Tampa Bay won the division at 8-9. It was the worst division in the NFL. And the Falcons somehow went 7-10 with smoke and mirrors at quarterback. And you wonder, what would Lamar Jackson mean to the Falcons? I mean, when you think about the weapons that they have on offense and some of the things that they're doing there, what could they do with Lamar Jackson? Now, there are reports that the Falcons, along with the Dolphins, the Commanders, the Raiders, and the Panthers, have indicated they are not interested in Lamar Jackson. And remember, it was the Falcons and the Panthers who were all in on Deshaun Watson last season before he landed in Cleveland. In fact, J.J. Watt tweeted that he doesn't get what's up here. He says, I don't understand why all of these teams are coming out and saying they're not interested in Lamar Jackson. Jackson is definitely considered flawed in some way. By the way, it was a Twitter poll. It was an unbiased Twitter poll. It wasn't a poll from Brown's Twitter or from Ravens Twitter or anything like that. It was just an unbiased Twitter poll. And the Twitter poll said, the respondents of the Twitter poll, 75% of the respondents said that they would prefer Deshaun Watson over Lamar Jackson. Deshaun Watson, I don't think, ever won an MVP. And look at all the baggage with Deshaun Watson, and yet 75% of fans saying they'd rather have Deshaun Watson than Lamar Jackson. So, Grizz, the odds have changed since this word came out that the Falcons have said that they're not interested in Lamar Jackson. I don't know what that means, but you as a Falcon fan, would you give up 2 first-round draft picks, if not more? Would you give up 2 first-round draft picks for Lamar Jackson?
Negative. Because this is, as a Falcons fan, you gave up 2 first-round picks for said Julio Jones. And as much as it was an amazing career.
It worked out for a long time.
It was great to watch for a long time, but it never – if it can get me a title, maybe. I'm looking at the long term. They have a lot of dead money that they just got out of, and they have plenty to spend. And I don't think $45 million.
They can afford them.
Yeah, I don't think $45 million throwing it at Lamar Jackson is the right move. When I'm sorry, I keep hearing mixed stuff. I hear Arthur Blank talking about, Desmond Ritter's the guy on radio shows. I hear Arthur Smith just a couple of weeks ago. He was on online on one of their the AtlantaFalcons.com. He was talking about how they asked, is Desmond Ridder the guy for 2023? And he's like, well, still he's like, all options are there and blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
well, what are the other options?
What is
now,
it?
They've got
Logan Woodside.
I think Desmond Ridder is the only. I don't even think Logan Woodside's under contract right now.
I think I saw it. I don't know if he's still under contract, but I think that was one of the ones that was still. It wasn't a free. It didn't list as a free agent.
Guy.
Yeah, no.
I like Desmond Ridder. I'll be honest with you. I thought he was the best quarterback in the class last year. So maybe you take a look. They have $67 million in cap space. All right, it's a wide open division. Arthur Smith, what he did with that offense last year using Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder was actually amazing.
Here's
but
the thing.
They said that they're not interested.
Here's the thing.
In Lamar Jackson.
With the offense that they have, Tyler Algier was amazing. Drake London was amazing. With all the offense, Kyle Pitts coming back. With the offense that they have, Chris Lindstrom was the highest graded player in the NFL. He's a 95 as a right guard. So if you re-sign Caleb McGarry, you need another receiver in Olamide Zaccheaus. Re-sign him because he's the most veteran wide receiver on that roster. And then, literally, how about this? Why can't you sign OBJ to a couple of years and put that on the offense?
If you got Drake London and Kyle Pitts, I don't think you need to spend any more money on the offense.
They need one more wide receiver, and I think they will sign a receiver, and I really hope it's not Juju Smith-Schuster. Because I know that's one of the
draft picks and not trade them for Lamar Jackson. Now, here's the thing: if you get Lamar Jackson, you don't need all those wide receivers because you're going to be a running offense.
Correct.
At that particular point in time. I mean,
Arthur Smith
how do you feel
likes
about the running back situation?
I really do like the running back situation because you have Tyler Algier had over 1,000 yards. You also had Cordero Patterson, who didn't even play the entire season, but hopefully he could come back and hopefully he can stay healthy the entire season. Still was playing really well at the beginning of the season as well before Tyler Algier took over. They still have Caleb Huntley, and I still have also Avery Williams, who I get it. He's a defensive back that they've converted into a running back, but that's a guy that they use in the special teams as well. So that's their fourth guy right there. And not necessarily would I say that they probably could sign another running back, or maybe they could draft another running back in the 5th or 6th round. They've been doing that lately. And it's worked out.
I think there's something up here, man. I think there's something up with Lamar Jackson. All of these teams to say we're not interested in Lamar Jackson, a guy who won a MVP in his second year in the league. I think he's never played a full season.
Yeah.
All 4 years he said he's missed time with an injury. So now with the Commanders and the Falcons and the Raiders and the Dolphins all saying that they're not interested in him, and the Carolina Panthers, they have all fallen to the bottom of the chart in terms of Vegas. The leading candidate right now, if not the Ravens, for Lamar Jackson is the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions at 3-1, and then the Tampa Bay Bucks at 9-2. I could see the Bucks making that maybe, but I mean, you're talking about 2 first-round picks now. Houston got more than 2 first-round picks from Cleveland. Remember, they got 3 first-round or 2 first and a couple of seconds or whatever they got. Deshaun Watson or Lamar Jackson. 75% of the respondents are saying Deshaun Watson.
The Deshaun Watson factor, though, is all the scrutiny and everything else that still comes kind of like.
What about on the field?
Yeah.
Put that aside.
Yeah.
What about now on the field?
On the field, I'll tell you right now, Watson can stay. Well, from what I've seen, Watson can stay healthy, and I think it's better long term. I just think I think he's a better passer as well. And I think Lamar, and I think Lamar Jackson with the injury prone, and then look at the number of running quarterbacks. They just always seem to break down, and they just don't last.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is he on the way? Have we seen the best of him?
You already won the MVP, so
right, his second year. I think has Lamar Jackson at age 26 peaked? That's the ultimate question. Has he peaked at age 26? We're going to break. We'll come back. Phone lines are open. If you want to join the conversation, you can do that. It's the Tom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Check out VSiN's catalog of original podcasts, daily and weekly programming to keep you in the know when you're on the go. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Spring training in full swing. The regular season opens at the end of the month. Looking at division winner futures odds, the Mets are the favorite in the National League East at plus 140. In the NL West, the Dodgers a minus 120 bet. In the NL Central, the Cardinals minus 118. In the American League East, the Yankees a plus 120 bet. AL West, the defending champion Astros lead the way at minus 200. In the American League Central, Cleveland a plus 145 bet. The Mets are the favorite to win the National League title at plus 420. The Dodgers plus 425. The Astros the favorite to win the American League pennant at plus 300. The Yankees plus 350. Houston plus 600 to repeat as World Series champs. Get the latest lines and more at vsin.com.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
T-minus 3, 2, 1.
Flash Band the nation, ignite the fun, let's rock it.
The countdown to the 2023 Trash Panda season is on. Single game tickets are now available for every home game of the 2023 season, including opening night on April 6th. 27 fireworks shows, 6 bobblehead giveaways, 5 jersey auctions, and much, much more. Get your tickets for the 2023 season now at TrashPandasBaseball.com.
Let's rock it.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. We're still a place to call for your insulation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on 2 services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatewitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
At Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, people call the award-winning burgers totally insane, which is a compliment because Bad Daddy's Burgers are just that, chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness built with premium Angus beef. They're bold and they're bad. Pair one with one of their signature cocktails or assortment of local craft brews. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, 2317 Memorial Parkway. Check out our menu and even order online at BadDaddy'sBurgerBar.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Wednesday, expect scattered showers, mainly in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see a mostly cloudy sky. High temperatures are expected to top out in the low 60s for the afternoon. Heading into your Wednesday night, a few isolated showers going to be possible after midnight. Otherwise, expect a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures falling into the mid and upper 40s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Talent Heating and Air plus 97.7 ESPN The Zone Bracket Challenge is coming.
You're going to have to explain that.
Head to 97.7ESPN.com and sign up your team today.
I followed your instructions implicitly.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Steve Moulton from The Drive. Be sure and join us today from 5 to 7 with Wes Neighbors and me. Now back to the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You know, whether you are looking at property in Alabama or Tennessee to the north, Florida to the south, North Alabama Mortgage can make sure that they put you in the right product for that purchase and then get you pre-qualified as well. And you can get pre-approved. And when you're pre-approved, you're good to go. You're good to close when you look at a property. A lot of places won't even let you look at properties anymore unless you're already pre-approved for your mortgage. And they treat you like family there. I mean, that's one of the great things. They kind of they're so great when you deal with them day in and day out as you're doing your mortgage. It takes all of the fear and trepidation out of it. And that's just because that's the way they are. That's just the way they take care of their business. It's North Alabama Mortgage. Brian Hammaker and his team, just a tremendous job standing by to help you out with all of your mortgage needs. Phone lines are open if you want to jump in. Text window is open as well. Carrie in Scottsboro regarding our comment about will there be more running game. Will the stolen base be back in a bigger way with the distance from first to second to third being reduced by 4 inches due to the fact that the bases are bigger, all right? The actual bases are bigger. He said with guys being bigger, faster, and stronger than ever before, where are all the base stealers in baseball now? Well, everybody's got one or two speed guys. I mean, you look at Ozzie Albies and you look at, some of the different guys that the Braves got. They got guys that'll steal bases. I think every team still has a guy or two that'll steal bases. The question is that the way the game is played? Is there any interest at all in snagging a bag, or are we just going to keep looking to the rake, get a guy on and hit the 2-run homer? That's what the question is.
I mean, you got Ronald Acuna, you got Michael Harris, you've got Ozzie Albies. I mean, you got a number of guys that can do it. I mean, even I bet you could steal Vaughn Grissom if you had to. But I think it's like
you're not going to have 100 stolen. You're not going to have a Ricky Henderson guy that steals all the time.
How many
but
times,
you might have a bunch of guys with 25 stolen bases.
Yeah. And how many times are you going to have like a hit and run situation? I mean, that's not necessarily a steal situation, but it's still like you're going to make the runner be aggressive. You know what I mean? That's still you're still in the back of your mind. I think as a manager, you still have aggressive base running.
Pitch clock is just going to make the game easier to watch. Pitch clock, I don't think it's going to have anything to do with the performance of the game. I think what's going to change the performance of the game the most is the lack of the shift. I think taking the shift away will change the performance of the game the most. I think and then second will be the bigger bases.
I think it's you'll also see guys like I think it was yesterday with Max Scherzer who won't get called for the quick pitching because he got called for a balk for it. Because not only is that pitcher obviously got to be ready and everybody's got to be ready, he can't just like quick pitch it, and try to get a quick strike out of somebody.
Yeah. All right, LSU Lynch is up. LSU Lynch has been harassing Alabama fans on the text window. Oh, he's gone?
Yeah.
Okay, he's been harassing the Alabama fan on the text window unmercifully. By the way, we should mention Danny Dimes, right? Daniel Jones, whose nickname is Danny Dimes.
Yeah, baby.
He's now Danny Dollars, all right, because it's not Danny Dimes.
Big bucks.
You were talking about Lamar Jackson, do you want to spend $45 million a year? Lamar Jackson thinks he's worth a lot more than $45 million a year because Daniel freaking Jones just got $40 million a year. All of a sudden, remember when Patrick Mahomes got $50 million for 10 years, $50 million a year, and everybody was like, "Are you kidding me? $50 million a year?" And look how good that deal's going to look as time moves forward when you're giving Daniel Jones $40 million a year.
Well, it's the craziness that we think that all of these quarterbacks deserve money, and you can literally blame Kirk Cousins for a lot of this. Because if they didn't start paying Kirk Cousins a lot of money for being this quarterback out of the second, third round,
has been one of the but he's been one of the top three in performance in terms of yards and rating and everything else for quite a while now. Deshaun Watson is the guy I think you blame for it. Deshaun Watson got the $230 million guaranteed contract, but Deshaun Watson,
Falcons had to pay Matt Ryan after the Super Bowl, so I mean, after he won the MVP. the following year.
What's Deshaun Watson getting? He's getting 230 divided by 5. Deshaun Watson's getting 46. Daniel Jones is getting 40. Does Deshaun Watson look bad now at 46? If Daniel Jones is getting 40?
I mean, to be honest with you right now, would you take Daniel Jones over Lamar Jackson? I mean, the reason why they gave him the money was because of the limited interceptions, apparently. It was like some crazy loophole. But, like, I don't know, man. He's a runner. He can throw. He got him to the playoffs this year. I know he's not Lamar. I mean, he's not an MVP, but we're talking like, you want to win a Super Bowl or do you want to win, a singular accolade for one athlete?
Geno Smith got $35 million a year.
I think he deserved it. I think he deserved it.
How does Deshaun Watson look at 46 now when Geno Smith just got 35? I'm telling you, man.
Why do we buy into these quarterbacks? Why don't we give these quarterbacks these crazy contracts?
Because it's a quarterback league. Because if you don't have one, you have no chance.
Yeah.
You have no chance if you don't have one of these dudes.
Well, Falcons better be watching out with that dead money. They might be paying Desmond Ridder that $45 million out of the 60.
No.
They're not going to, but
who knows, what he'll become. We don't know what he'll end up being.
And then who knows how much money that will be by the time if he is. Because that's going to be more money.
How would Derrick Henry look in a Bills uniform?
Oh, God. I saw Eagles and I was like, no, please no.
The Bills are the favorite, the Vegas favorite to land him. If the Titans really do trade him, the Bills are the favorite to land him.
You wasted his first 3 years, Titans. So, I mean, the usage of him for this first 3 years just infuriated me. I didn't really know he was.
In fairness, his yards per carry did drop a full yard this year. He went from 5.4 yards a carry to 4.4 yards a carry.
My goodness,
that's a big drop.
5.4
to 4.4.
Yeah,
is a big drop. I wouldn't be doing any. If the Titans are thinking about doing that, it's because they think that they suck, right? I mean, they must think that they're not that they're in full rebuild mode. That must be the only reason you would even think of doing something like that.
Well, you can't figure it out at quarterback. Are you going to re-sign Tannehill? And then you don't even have any weapons other than Burks. I don't know what you're going to.
There's no way they reset. There's no way they don't let Tannehill go. If they trade Derrick Henry, you got to let Tannehill go. What's the point of keeping Tannehill at that point?
You don't even have a quarterback, so I don't even know what.
All right, coming up next, you'll have all those draft picks maybe that you got for
Anthony Richardson.
Oh, God. Out of here at Anthony Richardson. Coming up next, it's the Paul Feinbaum Show. That's going to do it for us for the week. Enjoy the SEC basketball all week, and we'll be back next week on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
The best place to get 50s diner-style homemade delectables is Bubby's Diner. Located at 8412 Whitesburg Drive Southeast, try their all-new expanded breakfast menu with homemade waffles, omelets, and shrimp and grits. With 3 generations of experience, Chris Bubby Belcher has
locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
In 1982, Bob Baumhauer introduced Alabama to the Buffalo Wild Wing, and quite frankly, we've never been the same. Back then, it was Wings and Things in Tuscaloosa, but now, 40 years later, after 4 name changes, Baumhauer's Victory Grill is the #1 sports-themed restaurant in the state. Bob's Alabama Hot Chicken is something that has to be tried to believe, plus the new Bam Bam Chicken and the Louisiana-style Go Fish, a whitefish over rice topped with shrimp etouffee. And Baumhauer's is fighting inflation with some new affordable favorites. Visit Baumhauer's on the South Parkway today.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? Two Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop, but if you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So if you happen to need parts, performance parts,